Welcome along to the Supermoto European Championship. And after the first race of the S1 GP World Championship in Albania, the S2 European Championship season continues in Busca, Italy. With top 5 in the overall standings within 25 points and 2 races to go in the championship, all podium places are open for 2017. The venue this time out is a racetrack of Kart Planet, which has received some major upgrades in the last few weeks with a new asphalt layer and a permanent asphalt off-road section, which makes it one of the better equipped venues in Italy. So with that being said, let's have an in-depth look at the Kart Planet circuit here. It's 1.5 kilometers in length with a short 180 meters of off-road sky section. We're not on the dirt this weekend. It's a rough, bumpy section of tarmac in the middle of there. So drivers side by side and giving us a demonstration lap of the circuit here. Let's have a look at the thunderclouds just up above us. Could rain happen during the first race? Well, we'll find out. Sharp right here into the sky section, as you can see. After the opening sweeping bends, it's onto this tricky little section with a tabletop. And some aggressive berms in here as well. Over the camelback. And then rejoining the circuit to continue on this smooth, wide, flowing section of the circuit. Just have a look at the new asphalt that's been laid there on the entry and exit of these bends. Up on the back straight. And then another right-hander. Into a left. And then right again. Very, very twisty this. There are some good sections to open up as well, and the surface is super smooth. Just over 1.5 kilometers in length. Another left-hander. Smooth right onto the brakes. Just feeding the throttle round there and accelerating. Twist of the wrist open onto the start-finish straight. Cross the line and line up for another lap.
I'm Ivan Lazzarini, team manager of L30 Racing. This year we have 2 riders in S4 class, Kevin Vandi and Lorenzo Papalini. Kevin is leading the Classify and Lorenzo is in the top 10. S4 is the new category just with asphalt, beside the European Championship. Bikes are nearly the same, just the setting of the fork and shock is a little bit harder because they will not ride in the sky section. I want to say thanks to our sponsor because they give a big support and let us a chance to grow up a young rider as Lorenzo and Kevin.
Sono Lorenzo Papalini.
Hello, I'm Lorenzo Papalini. This is my 3rd year in the L30 Racing team and my 1st year in the S4 class. I'd like to thank my team. It helps me improve my skills and experience. I'm Kevin Vandi. I ride for L30 Racing. Currently, I'm the leader of the S4 Championship. And this is in this last round. I'll do my best to bring home the victory. So with the warm-up laps out of the way and the rain clouds finally dispersing, it's time to get the action underway here in Italy. A sunny Sunday with the tyre warmers on. The riders get ready to do battle here on round 3 of the championship. It's going to be a hot one here this weekend. So as the grid lines up, this is the way the starting grid looks in Italy. All riders ready then. Quick warm-up lap. And then from our helmet cam, this is the perspective of the start of the first race. And it's underway. 15 laps lay ahead for these riders round this 1.5 kilometre course. We're on board now with number 121. Into the Sky section. And a fall there. Edgardo is already down, number 20. Just holding up the rest of the field as well. Our championship leader with the red plate on the front of his bike is off and into the circuit, and Edgardo manages to get the bike started and up on the Sky section and to join the rest of the riders on the circuit, but losing a bit of time. So as the field has stretched out a bit as we're into lap 2 and heading into the third lap then over the start-finish straight. This is the way it looks at the moment. Really having to throw these bikes round on that right-hander just to get into the Sky section, dropping the handlebars right down to the floor. No margin for error. Over the tabletop, bit of airtime, and over the camelbacks. So our championship leader with the red plate on there, number 68, is doing pretty well. In 4th position with our Czech rider, bike number 121. So our race leader is out in front. Thomas is doing well on bike number 4. No major spills yet so far in the race. We're just coming up to the halfway point of this opening race here in Italy. A little heavy on the front wheel landing there off the back of the tabletop. It's rider 47 there. Watching Marc-Reiner Schmidt then from Germany. Very smooth and consistent riding through here. Trying to tuck the bike in there. Just crouching up as tight as possible just to get a maximum aerodynamic efficiency over the machine. On lap 7. And on board with our Czech rider. Now David Guinness, it looks like he's sort of just out there on his own at the moment, fight for 10th position overall. Struggling, but got the pressure on him. As for the battle for 14th, it's between these two Italian riders dueling for victory here. Now we're deep in the middle of the race now, lap number 8 out of 15. The field opening up though, but still some tight battles further down the leaderboard. The sky section looks like it's almost like a dirt section there, but it's just rolled asphalt that's been put on there. Really great, looks like a BMX track in places. Now then, penultimate lap. And out in front is Thomas on bike number 4. Leading all the way. He's in a world of his own there as he crosses the line. Checkered flag for him. The race winner goes to our Frenchman in the first race here in Italy. No problems for him. It's been a smooth ride all the way from start to finish. Second up is our German, Marc-Reiner Schmidt. And third overall is our championship leader, carrying that red plate this weekend. So race number 1 is out of the way here in Italy. Just a small mistake at the beginning, one of our riders just dropping down there and sliding down the back of the board. Disaster for him. But that's the way it all looks at the end of race number 1. Welcome back to the Supermoto European Championship. We're in Italy this weekend, but let's check in with the KTM team and see what it's like in their camp here in the heat of the summer sunshine in northwest Italy.
It's my first year in European Championship and I'm riding with the KTM M30. I had a big crash 2 years ago when I broke my leg and my hand, and I had a really big injury with my lungs. Last year I was in recovery year. I was riding Finnish Championship, Estonian Championship and Russian Championship. The speed was real good last year, so I thought maybe I can try with the European Championship. The options are really strong in this S2 class because this year they're riding Charyere and other fast riders in my class, and I have a lot to learn from them, and I don't have so many experience, so I'm trying to keep up.
We are here in Busca with Aero Madison for the 3rd race of the European Championship. And we are here with the KTM 450. The base of the AS motorcycle is KTM S6 450. And I modified the frame and I make one new swing arm, new link with the all-in suspension to give to my rider the best feeling on the asphalt. We're still working really hard for do better and better for try to go on the podium before the end of the season.
Well, let's see how KTM get on this weekend. So we head to race number 2. So this is it, race number 2 in Italy, and they're off the line. The grid is actually the same as the first race number 1. 15 laps now lay ahead for these riders round this tight, twisty course in northwest Italy. So the field are quite tight as they come round the first opening couple of bends and then into the sky section on that sharp right. The field completely bunched up, a little bit of air time over the tabletop and then over the camel backs before hitting that aggressive burn right and then left. Rejoining the main circuit, and this is the way it looks out of the blocks on lap number 1 of 15 laps. On board with Diego, the Italian rider certainly getting to know the pace here on the back straight of the circuit, right-hand side down. Pegs almost touching the ground as they're just looping the bike left to right. Streaking away out in front at the moment is bike number 41. It's Marc-Reiner Schmidt, almost dominating it at the moment, but hot on his heels and just off his bumper is our French rider, Thomas Chareyre. So lap 1 completed for these two, dueling and battling it out here in the intense summer sunshine. Hard on the brakes and a little bit of a drift round onto lap number 2. Picking up the action halfway through the circuit, and you can see here, this is the way we're looking at the moment. Andreas on the Husqvarna from Austria. Looking quite good for him. And then the battle for 4th is between bike number 200 and bike 77. The field opening up now as we are heading from lap 2 into lap number 3, and our leaders are at the front there. Thomas Chareyre taking the lead now, overtaking Marc-Reiner Schmidt in lap 2. Pretty tight and twisty around that berm. We certainly like that one this weekend. Now, Diego Monticelli. He's got the red plate, championship leader. Certainly trying to squeeze every ounce of power out of his TM prepared bike. As for our race leader, Thomas Chareyre is almost in a world of his own now. Chance to showboat off there just a little bit over the tabletop. And pulling away on the back straight of the circuit as well. Really pulling in the seconds between him and Marc-Reiner Schmidt, who's just lying behind him at the moment. We're on lap number 6 of 15 now here in Italy. Now the fight for 11th position between bike 122 and bike 96. And fight for position is between the Italian and the Czech for 7th position. But Milan Sitniansky taking over there quite nicely. We're on board with him at the moment on our helmet cam. Just hearing the wind through the microphone there as they're accelerating and then decelerating hard to the right-hander. But Thomas Chareyre is leading the race at the moment by a country mile almost. Doing very, very well indeed in lap 9, and the fight for 6th position is also intense as well. But Milan is just not capable of pulling away any quicker to gain another place here in the circuit. Slowing down and almost putting the pegs down. Chance to put his foot down on the corners there just to steady himself there. The battle for 9th position at the moment is between bike 93 and 102. They're just dueling in their own little fight at the moment. Let's just have a rerun of some of the closer action happening here. Look at that. See how close his feet are to the ground. Very, very risky manoeuvre there. Could catch a peg and get himself thrown off there. In the sky section, certainly living up to its reputation here in Italy. Plenty of time for the riders to gain some air. So the rain we were expecting during our procession lap never appeared. And on race day on Sunday, it's beautiful and sunny. No wind either. Lap 13, unlucky for some. Let's see if anything can happen here. Sharp righter into the sky section. Now in fourth position is our French rider. Still, Thomas is right out in front at the moment. Still on board with Milan. A little bit of an off there for the bike in front of him, rejoining the circuit a little later on. Penultimate lap now. And Monticelli is in third. Doesn't want to make any mistakes on this final 2 laps of the race. Andreas Buschberger is doing well. Milan Sitniansky from the Czech Republic is also doing well as they cross the line now onto the final lap of the race. Lap 15 of 15. Race number 2 here in Italy this weekend. It's round 3 of the European Supermoto Championship. And crosses the line. Round winner is Thomas Chareyre. An intense battle for him right the way through, but taking the lead of the race from lap number 2. Marc-Reiner Schmidt is second, Diego Monticelli is in third. An intense fight for our riders this weekend in Italy. 15 hard laps on this incredible all-asphalt surface. This is the way the leaderboard looks after race number 2. Charyere leading with 25 points. So the overall results in Italy looked like this. Clean sweep of points for Thomas Chareyre. Rainer Schmidt second with 44 points and Monticelli coming out third. High octane and adrenaline action here. And our round winner, Thomas Chareyre, comes up onto the podium to spray the champagne and taste that sweet smell of success. Chance for the boys to relax, celebrate, and taste that sweet taste of success. And the red plate is presented to Thomas Chareyre for taking a haul of points here this weekend and maintaining the lead of the championship.
The goal this weekend was the red plate, and it's just perfect. I am in the right place today. And the first moto was just perfect. I take the whole shot and I push hard. I take a big gap and I won the race. And the second moto was a little bit difficult because I start second and I was a little problem with my rear tire, and very difficult to open the gas. So take the win also in the second moto. Just very good for me for the championship, and I want to thank all the team because we worked very hard this weekend for this, and see you in Australia.
So taking the red plate and taking the lead of the championship, Thomas Chareyre now leads with 130 points. Marc-Reiner Schmidt in second on 128, and Monticelli is in third with 125 points. Just 5 points separate the top 3 here. It's still wide open, this championship. For the manufacturers, it looks like this. That's it from Italy. Hope you've enjoyed all the 2 races. Next up, we head to Colombia for the final S1 GP race of the season. We'll see you soon.